Hello everyone. Today is an epic and highly significant day in the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. I'll be discussing this from a strategic perspective, taking into account the bigger picture. We are talking today about the death of Yahya Sinwar on the front lines, in direct combat with Israeli forces, wearing his military uniform. This changes the perception surrounding the leadership within Hamas, and the idea that Sinwar was just hiding in tunnels. The narrative today about Sinwar's death highlights that he was actively participating on the front lines from the very start of the war. This has serious implications because it contradicts the idea that his death would somehow weaken Hamas. Instead, the situation is far more complex, and this might actually have the opposite effect. Now, I have a different perspective. While Sinwar's death is being reported everywhere, I believe there is an even more critical event happening. Israel's move towards recognizing Somaliland as a state and establishing a military base there to strike at the Houthis, with the UAE playing a key role in the negotiations. This is an extremely dangerous development with major strategic implications for the region. At the same time, we've seen strategic airstrikes on Yemen for the first time by the powerful B-2 bomber. We will analyze all of this, but Sinwar's death. Sinwar himself had always expressed that the greatest gift Israel could give him would be to kill him. He even said, once he passed the age of 60, that he was ready for death and wanted to go out fighting, not hiding. Sinwar was never a political leader. He was always on the front lines with his soldiers, and the fact that he died fighting in such a way is significant. His involvement in combat, not just as a political figure but as a soldier on the ground, sends a strong message. Hamas is not a centralized movement, and even though Sinwar's death may be seen as a tactical victory for Netanyahu, it does not necessarily translate to a strategic win for Israel. In fact, Sinwar's death might even boost Hamas morale, as his role in the fight resonates with their historical narrative. We need to understand that this situation is not going to weaken Hamas as much as Israel might hope. Moving back to the broader regional implications, Israel's plans to establish a military base in Somaliland are of great concern. This has been in the making for years, with the UAE playing a crucial role in securing this deal. The base could be used not just against the Houthis but also to project power in the Red Sea and the wider Horn of Africa region. Israel's presence in Somaliland is a game changer, and it ties into the broader strategic dynamics in the region, including the situation in Yemen and beyond. The US has also recently deployed B-2 bombers to Yemen, a signal of its strategic capabilities and readiness to strike from a distance without relying on bases in the Gulf. The B-2 bomber is a stealth aircraft capable of penetrating deep into enemy territory, and its presence here shows the seriousness of the situation. The situation in the region is incredibly volatile, and the moves Israel and the US are making in places like Somaliland and Yemen will have far-reaching consequences, not just for the conflict with Hamas but for the wider Middle East and Horn of Africa. We need to closely monitor how these developments unfold, as the region seems to be on the brink of significant change.